Hello, this is Brian again. I'm not going to be heading in too far today. It's kind of hot. So, this is part of the Coyote Hills. It's more the western half of the Coyote Hills. You see we have a lot of prickly pear here. This one appears to be coast prickly pear, Opuntia littoralis. But there's supposed to be a couple of different types of prickly pear here. I believe Opuntia occidentalis, western prickly pear, and Opuntia auricola, which is the Chaparral prickly pear. Well, sometimes I have a hard time telling the coast and the western prickly pear because they are very similar. But the Chaparral prickly pear is usually a lot easier to tell because their pads are more rounded. They're more rounded as opposed to oblong. It's like these guys have it narrow from top to bottom. I mean, from side to side, narrow from side to side, and wide from top to bottom. So you gotta be careful because prickly pears can hybridize. The western prickly pear is apparently a hybrid. Huge varieties or types. They're all over the field here. Look at that. It's the bright green stuff. Well, not the tree-sized bright green stuff. Those are Peruvian pepper trees, Scinis mole. And here we have a blue elderberry, Sambucus nigra variety cerulean. Going, oh, looks so dead. It's not dead, it's half dormant. They do have a dormancy period during the late summer and fall and early winter months. And then they leaf out in later winter down here at low elevations. We're just a few hundred feet above sea level, and they look a lot brighter, a lot greener, a lot thicker. And then they get their panicles of beautiful white flowers in spring, and their dark colored fruit, which is frosted with light blue, during the summer months. A lot of natural species here, like Artemisia californica, California sagebrush, very common native here. We got non-native stuff like Quercus ilex, the holly oak or holm oak of the Mediterranean. So he's developing its acorns, should be ripening within a month. And again, these light green trees here are Peruvian pepper trees, Scinis mole. And here's a large shrub here, the mule fat, Baccharis salicifolia subspecies salicifolia. Very common native here in SoCal, especially in disturbed and moist areas. This area is more disturbed than moist, as you can tell. Here's an up close of the Peruvian pepper tree. These are previous season's fruits, these red dots here. These little things are the flower buds, and the leaves are light and feathery, and they betray a very, well, you'd think they'd be very soft, delicate trees, but they're very well adapted to our drought. And there's some more Scinis mole over here. A lot of times their branches will reach all the way down to the ground. So, didn't want to really do a long hike, and I'm kind of getting tired from earlier. All the craziness going on in my life right now. Not really feeling much like talking about it too much, but maybe at a later date when things calm down, maybe I'll let you know. But let's go take a look in here. Nice little shady enclave under these Peruvian pepper trees. here they are. Light gray furred bark. Generally these are quite small trees, usually 40 feet and under, but they can get larger with age. These trees have been around for decades. I don't know about centuries yet. Again, they have a very graceful weeping habit. Makes them quite attractive, actually. They do have a tendency to become somewhat invasive. They're not as invasive as some other trees like the Brazilian pepper tree, Scinis terebinthifolius, which has more of an upright stature with darker bluish green leaves. Same type of little red fruits, and flowers are very similar, but the leaves are thicker, shorter, and the leaflets are a lot more oval than these little narrow leaflets here. And then we have another non-native. This is Peruvian vulgare. This is called Horrorhound. It's in the mint family, the Lamiaceae. Here's the evidence of it being in the mint family. Stage seed heads. So that's how you can kind of tell. Their sap was used to make called Horrorhound candy. It's supposed to be good for coughing and irritating stuff like that. And it's supposed to be pretty bitter. And there again, we got Euclid Street. That's a pretty area. I was gonna go up to this one spot, but I'm just feeling kind of hot and tired right now, so figured I would kind of leave it at a short little walk. Just wanted to see how things were looking. I'd recommend doing this much earlier in the day because it's probably about 84 degrees. It's much cooler than it was a few days ago when it was 98, 97, 99, and 94, but it's still warmer than it should be for October. And from what I've heard, got a few more days of this, and then we're supposed to have a period of normal to maybe slightly below normal temperatures late next week. Kind of hoping that comes to be. Tired of having to use the AC at home all the time. But here's a very common plant in disturbed areas. That was the flowers, the tall structures of these plants called telegraph aster or telegraph weed. That's Heteroteca grandiflora. It's a very common native plant in the sunflower family. I believe it's a biennial. You start out small like this. These little beautiful little yellow daisy flowers. They can get over your head like you saw in those other ones. I saw something interesting. Yeah, it's just a little too warm for a real hike today. Now, second thought, those hollyleaf cherries from clip number 1, they have some fruit on them. Bigger than I remember them. I actually collected a couple seeds from them once and actually grew. I have a small hollyleaf cherry at home. Here it is. It's not quite ripe yet. Should be soon. This is a native. The other park I was at, Pilcher Park, they had Catalina cherries, which are a subspecies. And Catalina cherries, Prunus ilicifolia subspecies Lyonii. Sometimes still call this old name Prunus lyonii. Oh. Salvia leucophylla, purple sage. It's in its dry dormancy period. That's why it doesn't look really happy right now, because it's dry deciduous. But I think this is going to about do it for me. Start heading back, and I'll see you on another adventure. Thanks for watching.